still want him to.
It's an awful intro. I'm trying too hard. HodgePodge here. We got Dan.
We got Tom.
We got Fig.
I like how I said we got. So whatever I say, you guys lead on. Episode 1 of HodgePodge. We're going to be talking about hype. Before we get to that, we're close to All Hallows Eve.
Woo.
So my question, starting with Tom first, is favorite Halloween costume you've ever had. Now, if it means when you were a kid and you were forced to be dressed into something by your parents or your own doing, favorite Halloween costume you've ever had. Go.
The Mask. That was the mask for Halloween.
When you mean the mask as in the Jim Carrey film, not just the mask as in a generic
Not
mask.
Rocky Dennis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Jim Carrey. I had a purple suit.
He had a yellow suit, but okay, that's good.
It was close enough. But I had the purple suit from my communion. So my brother was like, yeah, just wear it for Halloween. And then she got me a mask, like one of the green, like I looked like Jim Carrey.
So we're going to try to stay on the rails in our first podcast, but you immediately make me want to question why you had a purple suit for your communion.
My mother said I picked it out. And it was like a 3-piece zoot
You picked it up for the
suit.
communion or for Halloween?
The communion.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Would you? Can I see a family picture of that, please?
I have one on my phone. It's upstairs.
You do.
Yeah.
We're gonna.
Yeah.
Oh man, if I could edit that into some type of video.
Well, we'll put it in right now. There it is.
That's awesome. Now you're gonna make that happen.
Yeah. I'll send it to
I
you.
like that.
Hopefully it's the one with my grandfather, my grandmother, and
then
me.
I can imagine. I can just.
It's not with the mask, but like
I can picture you taking the picture. I can picture you having the picture like for communion, but like you're in like a Jim Carrey mask pose, like with your hands out, like somebody stop me. But it's for communion.
Yeah.
Okay. What about like as you got older, when you started to do your own costumes? So like when you were too cool for trick or treating and you're all about that, nightlife and stuff. Any creative costumes you had? Do you even like Halloween? I'm not a big fan, but I've done it lately.
People are gonna hate me for this.
Oh God.
I hate Halloween.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
I hate it.
But do you dress up?
Always.
Okay, so give me an example of what you've done. Do you make your own costumes?
I used to when I was younger, maybe like 10 years ago, but now I
You just buy them from Spirit Halloween, the pop-up shops?
Honestly, I go on Amazon.com and I bought a hot dog costume and I wore it 2 years in a row. That's easy for me.
Okay, that's good. So no creativity whatsoever.
Not anymore.
See, that was the way I was. Especially like I don't know, because I've always felt weird. Like I'm pretty outgoing, but when it comes to like walking into a place for the first time, I always feel awkward when I'm in regular clothes, let alone having to wear a costume. When Fig me and Fig started hanging out more. He started getting me kind of into like the let's go out for Halloween, and
Yeah.
not saying that I was ever big on going out, but I did like kind of do my own creativity for it. So I was Wilson from Home Improvement. And so my dad helped me build a mini fence that I could hold with my hand.
Nice.
And I hid behind it with a fisherman's cap and a plaid shirt.
Nice.
And it was a hit. It was at Ellery's party. And then we were going to New York City, and I didn't think I was going to want to walk around with the friggin' little mini fence. So I was like, okay, let's take it a step further. Got a different color plaid, kept my beard, bought a little mini Black & Decker tool belt, and I was Al Borland. Done.
Wow.
So I was double Home Improvement one year. I think that was
That's
2014.
crazy.
Yeah, double Home Improvement. Fig, what was your costume? Let's say the ones you were forced to dress up in as a kid, or ones that like your mom was like, you're gonna walk in that parade in school or whatever.
I mean, as you guys know, I was Poe.
Oh, you're Poe.
I was Poe when I was younger.
So
we
you
really
were
didn't go crazy for like costumes and all that. I think the most expensive costume I got from the dollar store was like a plastic Cookie Monster face.
Mm-hmm.
And I just put that on, and I had a blue sweater and jeans.
You're the Cookie Monster who's going to a spring formal.
Blue jeans, a blue sweater, and a Cookie Monster face that had like the little plastic string on the back.
Yeah.
Like for birthdays.
Yeah.
And that was one of my Halloween costumes when I was younger. As I got older, I obviously got a little more creative. I started buying my own things from like Spirit Halloween or Amazon.
Right.
Most of them have to be big boy suits because obviously I don't fit.
Big boy sizes.
I don't fit in the normal sizes. So like I bought a Power Ranger morph suit one year.
Oh my God! You know what
And
morph suits are, like
that
what
was-
Steve had in New Orleans.
Oh,
Those
worst.
skin tight suits.
The
I never
worst.
knew what a morph suit was until he was the Red Power Ranger. I knew what Fig
Did it
had
say
for
morph
breakfast.
suit on the
No,
back?
Yeah, it did. No,
not
it
mine.
didn't.
Not mine. Mine
It
was
did?
his Power Ranger was bland. It was bland.
Bland.
Bland, bland and plain.
Regular red.
But you were the Red Ranger.
But I was a Red Ranger. My friend was the Green Ranger. But man, I had things going on in that suit.
Yeah, I could see. Speaking of communion, I could see what religion he was. No
Yeah.
problem. I could easily. He had the tightest little button. Those things. My
It was
gosh.
awful. So that was one of my least favorites that I bought. But I liked another one I liked was He-Man. I was He-Man one year.
You were
I got
He-Man
That was
one year.
recently.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
got the
A couple
blonde
years
wig.
ago, yeah.
I actually
Wait.
shaved my face to make it.
The picture I showed you before.
Yeah, it's very
That was
similar
with-
to that one.
No, I was wearing your He-Man.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's what it was.
We're gonna put it up right here.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
gonna put it up.
Bing.
You better put it up.
I'm putting it up.
That picture, but also I have a video of.
But
Fig.
I'm in my hot dog suit too.
I had a picture. Wait, where were you guys?
He-Man hot dog.
That was at Leash's garage. That was in Leash's
That's
garage.
right.
Of course, it was in a garage. It's the typical
Yeah.
garage
A
pick.
typical
Yeah.
garage.
But
But
First
you see
off,
how
like-
I'm always messing with my friggin' hair? Fig, because he
Same.
had that gorgeous blonde locks, he was going like this, like flipping his hair
Yeah,
back
yeah.
and flipping his
Man.
hair to the side. It
I
was
tell you, it's a
cool.
good feeling having hair. I haven't had hair in a decade like
Yeah.
that.
It is
Oh,
nice
it was
having
never
hair.
like that.
I'm not gonna sit here
Does it
and
live
deny
up to the hype?
good transition, but I'm not done with Fig's Halloween costume yet.
No. I'm
That was
just
a great
asking.
transition. Yeah, having hair,
Yeah.
having a full head of gorgeous hair, thick, full that you can do anything you want with. Yeah, it's great. It's great.
I don't think so.
So the other costume I wanted you to bring up, Fig, I think it was last year. You decided to be Wilfred
Wilfred, yes.
from the TV show Wilfred.
Yeah. Yeah.
That costume, it was put through hell.
All right. In all honesty, it was just when I got the costume, it just said dog on it, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna be a freaking dog this year
Yeah.
for Halloween. Whatever. I'm over it. So I put the dog costume on, and then I was like, oh, whatever. You know, it's a cool looking dog costume. My friends started putting like black makeup on my nose and the whole thing. I ended up looking like Wilfred. I was like, oh, fuck it, I'm Wilfred this year
Yeah.
then. It worked out perfectly.
For about 5 minutes, and then just the makeup started sweating off, and just everything was just dank. It was just a dankness in my body, and it was all from the suit. And I wore it more than once. And by the third time that I wore that suit, because I had so many Halloween parties that year,
Yeah, because
It-
you're popular.
yeah, because I try.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Because it was the worst smelling thing in the world, and it had a hole from the front of the crotch all the way around to the back butt crack area. It was just a big old hole.
He
Put there on purpose.
No, just
Oh.
ripped out of all dancing and
You're a mean
stretching.
dancer.
he started smelling like an actual wet dog.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, there's no.
There's
It
no
was
way,
bad.
yeah.
It was bad. We were at Blue Ale House.
Yep.
And he was sweating profusely. Then one of my famous ones was my grandma. She made homemade like 1960s style Batman and Robin costumes for my older brother and me.
Really?
And I'm talking. Let's see now. We're gonna do the picture thing. Boom, picture right
Wow, that looks awesome.
there. Right.
Whoa.
Oh man, you look so good.
Wait, you're reacting to the picture that's not there yet. Okay, that's good. Okay, that's great. But I'm saying out of like velvety, I don't know what it was, but the gauntlets on the arms, the R on the chest.
She made you gauntlets?
Did it have
like-
nipples?
No, this is we're talking 1960s.
Oh, 1960s,
Yeah.
not Clooney.
No, not
the,
Clooney.
The underwear, the underwear,
Yeah.
and my older brother had the Adam West style Batman cowl. It was awesome.
That's cool.
With the
We-
eyebrows?
The eyebrows were on it.
Oh, that's pretty
It
cool.
was awesome. It was really cool.
Nice.
And then as I got older and I did the Wilson and stuff like that, that's where the creativity came in. But it doesn't mean I like it. Like last year, I was Woody from Toy Story, but it was just a T-shirt with his vest on it, and I
Yeah.
didn't even bother shaving my beard.
Yeah,
So I was like Woody if he got left in the toy chest.
That's kind of like the hardest thing for me. I'm
finding
not
it-
shaving my beard for a Halloween costume.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Uh,
No, that's commitment.
yeah.
If I looked anything like Woody, I shouldn't have picked the skinniest toy. I could have been like Wheezy the penguin that they left on the shelf. That would have been more my style.
More like Mr. Potato Head.
or
Let's
Mr.
be serious.
Potato Head.
Let's
That
be
would've been more-
serious.
yeah, Mr. Potato Head or Ham.
Ham.
I would be Ham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or we could have been Slinky Dog. Like you could have been.
No.
I've
Not
seen
gonna
a
happen.
costume like that before.
I'm the front of Slinky. Then
Yeah.
we have a big string, and then you're the back of Slinky.
Yeah, yeah.
You
Why
don't
am
wanna
I
be
the
Slinky?
back?
See, that's exactly why I
fine.
said no,
We'll take
because
it
he
once-
always wants to be the front.
Fine, we'll take it one step further. We'll be Cat Dog.
Cat dog. And we can both face outward. No one's the back.
Why would we face inward? What cat dog are you talking about?
The human
That's a weird-
centipede kind,
Yeah,
apparently.
It's just two asses.
Yeah.
That was The Simpsons already did it.
Yeah.
The Simpsons did that already. The dog went into the teleporter and he came out with two, like the dog and the cat, and then it came out the other end was just two asses.
Mm.
Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Speaking of Simpsons, that's a segue into what I wanted to talk about, which was hype. So when I say hype,
Yeah, bro.
I said this to you guys before we
Yeah,
started.
yeah.
Get hype, we stay hyped. So,
Okay.
so,
Took it too far. Let's go.
so hyped meaning, is there anything, TV show, movie, vacation spot, clothing, watch, I don't care what it is, that lives up to the hype? So you've heard about it, it was built, and you're like, oh my god, this is exactly as amazing as it sounds. Or something that's like, oh man, that did not live up to the hype. The reason I said Simpsons was because that's one thing that's near and dear to my heart. Everyone talks about the golden age of Simpsons from like season 2 to season 10. It was one of the best shows on television. Smart, well-written, hilarious, lives up to the hype. First thing that's easiest to talk about for you guys, this time we'll start with Fig. Let's say TV show or movie that you heard about, that when it came around to finally checking it out, you're like, yup, it's exactly as good as it sounds. And if possible, why?
Okay. Probably one of the most recent things, I guess, that I can think of on Netflix that my friend actually told me about. My friend Mike. He's the one that got me into Narcos. And he was just raving. Narcos is a great show. You need to check it out. I didn't want to give it a chance. I'm like, it's a Netflix-only thing before Netflix started putting out really good things other than House of Cards. All they were known for were House of Cards. So I'm like, you know what? I'll give Narcos a try. It's worth it.
Yeah.
Worth it. Such a good show. And the fact that, it's based mostly on true events, that's a hard selling point. It's a good selling point
That's
right there.
why I didn't want to watch it.
Because it was based on true events?
Yeah.
Does that scare you?
It doesn't scare me. It seemed like it was going to be boring to me.
That typically grabs me. If it's something's based on true events, I'm like, all right, it's interesting enough for them to make a movie, a series about this thing.
Right.
Let me give it a shot. And typically, I'm all about it. But for some reason, it was just like Pablo Escobar and all this stuff. I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that. So I ended up finally giving it a shot, and it by far was one of the best shows that I have given a shot for.
How many seasons right now,
I
currently?
believe they just finished season 3 or 4.
I think
3.
Okay.
One of those.
I thought 3, but
Yeah,
I could be wrong.
might have just finished 3.
Yeah.
Can I say Netflix really holds their own when it comes to original content?
Yeah.
Sometimes there's some misses, but a majority of the time they really knock it out of the park.
Yeah.
Netflix is definitely living up to the hype.
Netflix
Definitely.
itself, except for the fact that they just announced they're raising their prices
I was
again.
just about to bring that up.
But you
Yeah.
know what?
You're okay with it. You're
It's fine
you're
because
like, okay, it's worth it.
the
It's
amount.
worth
All
it.
right, here's the thing. When it first came out and it was $7.99 and all this stuff, it was the shittiest movies that were on
Yeah.
Netflix.
Unless
Like,
you had the DVD part
Unless
of
you had the DVD
Yeah,
part of it,
that's
there was you never really streamed anything because there was nothing worth watching. And little by little, they raised it up to $9.99 or whatever the case is if you got an HD. And yeah, a lot of the content they're putting out is really good. They have a lot of good relationships. Up to recent, they had Disney as one of their contracts,
Well,
which
that's a whole nother.
which is a whole nother
Yeah.
debate.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like, it's worth it. Paying
Yeah.
that type of money. Realistically, I don't even watch cable anymore. I usually watch
got rid of my
Netflix.
cable.
Yeah. I wish I could.
I wish I could.
I wish I could.
Yeah, no, I haven't yet. So I'm gonna get it out there with the hype right now. It's one that everyone talks about, but it's true. Breaking Bad.
That lived up to the hype.
It lived up to the hype, in my opinion, and more. And yeah, it's one of those shows where all the stupid TV snobs, you gotta watch Breaking Bad, but it really lived up to the hype. Walter White, Bryan Cranston alone, his acting is it's amazing. To this day, it's probably my favorite show.
I think it's
Just because it's all around. I'm sorry, it's all
No,
around.
no.
It's perfect, well directed, well written, no wasted scenes, no wasted moments. Everything
No, you're
had
right.
a purpose.
absolutely.
I mean, I love content that's done well when it comes to video games, movies.
It
Drums,
ended so
you name
well,
it.
too.
Yeah, I think the whole thing from a beginning, middle, and end was a
It
perfect
ended
story.
the way
It should have.
It should have.
Yep.
Right. Not what you expected, but like it should have.
You hype, go.
Um,
Good, positive hype.
Positive hype.
Yeah, something that you think.
I don't know
lived
if
up to
there's
the
too
hype.
much hype around what I.
Then it doesn't apply.
Yeah.
I'm joking. Go ahead.
The Ozarks. Have people told you to watch
Yes, I've
or
heard about
Ozarks?
Ozark.
Yeah.
Ozark.
Or Ozark
Ozark. With Jason Bateman.
That
Shout out
For
to Arrested
me-
Development.
lived up to the hype.
Yeah.
For me, it did not.
Wow.
For me, it
Really?
did not. It was a good show. good doesn't cut it anymore.
Yeah.
For the type of content that's being put out, it was okay.
Really?
I mean, there was, yeah, it was okay
What
for me.
didn't you like about it?
A lot of the acting was not good. I believe the best actor or actress in the show was the young girl, the blonde girl.
Okay.
I believe she was the best one in the entire show.
Yeah.
Which, when you're directing, when Jason Bateman's directing and starring, and whatever the case is, he could have been a little bit stronger there. The story is not as solid as I want it to be. I don't know. It's good. It's a good show.
Yeah.
I give it a solid 7 out of 10. But it's definitely not
Still
Breaking
good,
Bad. It's
yeah.
definitely not Game of Thrones. It's definitely not.
It's just your taste palette has increased.
I guess, yeah. It's just after all the good
He's got-
things that I've seen,
Right.
He's got a caviar tongue.
I do.
Is that a
With an
phrase?
ivory spoon.
With an ivory spoon. I Fig used to write movie reviews on Facebook
I used to.
on the notes section of
I
Facebook.
remember we went through them.
We went through them. There's so many
months ago.
misspellings, and it's
A
ridiculous.
couple weeks / months
Yeah,
ago.
bound to be that.
There's some great ones where he gives things like, he'll give things ratings like he just did, but like some of the ratings will be like, I'll give this 3 out of 5 stars, then he'll give another one like, 7 out of 10 or something.
Yeah.
So, like,
It was all over the place.
It's all over the place. I'll give
This
this one
one
7 figs up. How many figs? 7?
Yeah.
So I want to also another thing, because this is so when I was thinking about talking about like hype and stuff, another thing was like places. So the one thing I wanted to mention too was, for me, a place that lived up to the hype. And hear me out when I say this, Disney World. Now that sounds like a no-brainer. I took my girlfriend at the time to Disney World. I wanted nothing to do with it. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna plan this trip for her, for her birthday, and I was like, oh, I'll just take her. Like I was being so friggin' seen. I was too seen for it, I guess. I don't know what my problem was.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And I was
Go
like,
on.
fine. I'd rather go to a beach somewhere. Blah blah blah. That was my
Right.
whole thing. We went to Animal Kingdom, and I know if she was on, she would say now I was a total asshole the first day because I had a splitting headache. 'Cause I think I had a chocolate donut in the morning and then
Yeah.
like a piece of chocolate in the afternoon, and I had a splitting headache, and I was like, well, this is gonna be an awful trip. And we went to downtown Disney that night, which was like a downtown-y area with like
That makes
outdoor
sense.
shops. Awesome place. So I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. The next day we went to Magic Kingdom, saw the castle in person. It was one of the most coolest things I've ever seen in my life.
Don't-
And I was like, okay, this is pretty friggin' cool.
Don't you feel like a kid?
We had dinner in Cinderella Castle.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's pretty dope.
it is, yeah. I went all out. So that being there just blew me away. Now the thing is, and I said this too, my only negative there was that we were spoiled. So I'm a big thrill ride fan. I love roller coasters. And so like Six Flags is built for that. Six Flags Great Adventure in Jackson, New Jersey. Shout out.
Woo woo.
So Kingda Ka, world's tallest and fastest coaster. I think it might still have that trophy. Is awesome. Nitro is
If
one
it's
of the
running.
best.
If it's
If
running.
it's running,
If it's
Nitro's one of my favorites. Medusa, Bizarro, whatever it's called now, one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah.
So when you go there to go on the rides, it's not about, oh, we're gonna blow your head off. It's about the experience. So Matterhorn, I think, or one of those rides. Like they're not like the scariest. Aerosmith's Rock and Roller Coaster. No, it's not. But they're not like thrilling. It's the experience. It's a good ride, but
Right.
it's not like blow your pants off.
No, they're
But
not
the
about
experience, the queue while you're waiting to get into the roller
that.
coaster
Are cooler
is-
than the roller coaster.
Are cooler than the roller coaster.
Yes.
The Tower of Terror with Twilight Zone.
That is one of my favorite rides.
Mine too.
I'm gonna have to say the opposite, and I have been once.
How old were you?
Like 20.
Oh, recent.
like recent, like
Within
11
last-
years,
le-
12 years
within the
ago.
last 15 years.
Yeah. So I went for the first time and the only time because obviously we were poor when I was younger. So we ended
Yeah,
up,
you were poor.
We ended up making
You were poor.
it the trip when I was a little bit older and I had some type of money.
After you
After
you po.
I was still poish.
Oh, po.
Poish.
Poish, yeah.
Like a po boy.
Yeah, exactly. But
Shrimp po boy.
it's very expensive. Very expensive. They do pay
is
they
very
do pay
expensive.
attention to detail, which is appreciative.
Yep.
The rides, like you said, are not the greatest. Even though I'm not big on rides anyway, it is what it is. The lines are ridiculous. Like
Yeah, lines
there's
were
there's
kinda-
a lot
lines
of
were
things
kinda
that were just
tough.
negative, and the fact that it's in Florida, it rained 75%. I was in the park. 75% of the time I was in the park. I was like,
Really?
this really
No,
sucks. So
What I remember, we had good weather.
well,
think I had
usually
good weather
in
while
Florida,
we
it
were-
rains once a day
And then it
for
stops.
15
Yeah.
minutes.
yeah,
and
and
done.
then
it might have
stops.
just been my experience, but like I said, it rained a bunch of the time. Like it was okay.
Yeah.
But I would never make that
Wait,
the
but
main.
I'm sorry,
did
did you
you
say
say?
you went with family?
Yeah, I would never make that the main point of my trip. I'm going to Florida.
And how old were you?
20-ish, 2021.
Okay.
Yeah, I enjoyed Dorney Park way more than I enjoyed that.
Yeah. Did you go on Steel Force?
Yeah, of course.
I thought you don't like roller coasters.
That was when I was younger.
You said no, lose.
That was when I was younger. When I was younger, I had the balls to do anything. As I got older, if it goes around once, I'm like,
You don't even want to know what happened in the first couple minutes. I don't need. Fig
Oh,
to shake his
yeah.
head. I don't need his Fig to shake his head. No. You don't even know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
what are we talking about?
I don't know. I thought you were
In
talking
the
about the
first
beginning
couple
of this.
seconds of this podcast, for like the first couple, you don't even want to know what happened.
Oh dear,
We're gonna see what happened. Fig's gonna
Alright.
be very mad.
Oh, okay.
that's fine.
His
So
microphone wasn't on.
No boy,
you're kidding me.
I'm dead serious. As soon as he started talking about Wilfred, I turned it on.
that's great.
No.
Yeah, I don't know what it's gonna sound like. I noticed. So the screen was scrolled down, and I clicked record on the first 3. Didn't realize that it was 2, 3, and 4, not 1, 2, and 3.
Great. That's
Yeah.
fine. That's just how I know what he thinks about me.
That's not true. I accidentally.
You want to be cat dog or whatever. You want to be the ass of the costume. That's
didn't say
exactly
the
what.
ass.
How many minutes in was that?
Like 12,
Oh, it wasn't like 12,
8.
How many minutes? Well, so
30 minutes.
oh, okay. Can
Seriously.
I talk about something that lived up to the hype? A place that lived up to the hype
Absolutely.
for me?
I would love for you to say that.
New Orleans.
Oh, absolutely.
New Orleans,
So-
Louisiana. When'd you go there?
We all went there.
I was there too.
You
Fig
were.
was there
and
too.
it completely 110% lived up to the hype. I spent a shit ton of money there, but it was one of the best vacations I've ever been on.
Mostly in
Yeah,
strip bars.
I spent a lot of money there.
I have been there before, and I had a great time the first time I was there. Also, a great group of guys that we went with. It was more of a road trip, smaller group. We didn't have any plans. We just happened to go there and do whatever we wanted. Same thing. I just wish that this time Bourbon Street was closed at certain sections. They were doing some, I guess,
Yeah, they
some
were.
work.
Road work. Yeah, that's right.
If-
yeah, the road work segregated the streets of Bourbon.
Yeah,
Right.
that's the only thing that I had different within this trip than the last trip. If it wasn't for that, everything else is perfect.
Because you're right. Because a lot of those stores we couldn't really do
We
anything
c-
with. A lot of the
exactly.
bars,
You
we
can't
couldn't
see
do
it
anything
You
across
can't
the
see
street.
across the street, and the
It
whole
was
point of
always-
Bourbon Street is the street.
Yeah.
Right.
So the fact that they're redoing it was a little bit of a bummer for me because I've been there before. For you guys being your first time and that you enjoyed it, awesome. Also,
Yeah.
I just wish you guys got to see it when it was
Yeah.
all.
the vibe was
working.
definitely there. You know, I love the music. I loved like the chill atmosphere of some of the dinners we went to.
The food
I
is
love the
awesome.
food. The food was incredible.
ridiculous.
The food. I had a jambalaya there that was probably one of the best meals I've ever eaten.
Yeah.
It was
That was the fried
sausage-
chicken I had.
I can't even
Yeah,
remember
that
what I
fried
ate,
chicken.
and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
It was just so. You know, honestly, the best part of that was waking up with you guys there
Sweet. As
every
hell.
single day,
That's sweet.
and
as-
we literally just hung out, and no one had a care in the world
Yeah.
Yeah.
the whole time we were there,
Yeah.
and it was that for me felt like a vacation.
Sure, we got some boobs slammed against our face.
Oh, that's right.
Forcefully.
The shot girl. The
And
Forcefully.
that wasn't even at a strip.
That wasn't even
club.
a
No,
strip
that was
club.
just a
That was just a
lady.
shop bar.
No, that's just a bar.
Ugh.
She manhandled me.
She manhandled all of
You
us.
know what she did,
the
though?
manhandled me.
She slid in there, gave us shots,
and then
and
charged
then
me $9.
charged you.
Yeah.
It was, like,
I told her,
Yeah.
I was like, your business model is genius. Then I also asked her if it was improv, and she said, yeah.
was it?
Yeah.
I was like, do you know what you're going to do when you just start accosting people? She's like, nah, just go for it. I'm like, you're awesome.
She
Yeah.
was a genius.
She was a genius.
she was
You know
an
how
artist.
much? You know how much
She was a
money she made
saleswoman.
off of just our group that night? Just our group. She must have walked away with
She
just
was
$200
so
right
fun.
there.
She knew she was funny, too.
No. How much were those shots? I did not pay
No,
for
I
a
only
shot.
got 2 shots.
I
Fig.
had a lot of shots.
Fig.
She kept coming after me. You don't
She
understand.
liked you,
She
Fig.
liked
did
me
like
a
you.
lot.
She said
kept
she
coming
won't
at-
vote you.
Yeah,
I have a video on my phone, and she's like, come here, and Fig was like, okay.
I didn't know.
That's exactly the way he would walk, too.
Yeah.
Shaking his
Yeah,
shoulder.
sure,
a little
why
bit.
not? I must have had like 7 or 8 shots from her. Like
Wow.
easy,
Wow.
7 or 8 shots.
Eee.
Did you do the whole theatrics?
Yes.
That was a fun
Yes,
bar.
she
That
forced
was a
everyone
fun
down
bar.
my throat.
Yeah. The Cat's Meow? No.
Yeah.
No, no,
no,
no, no. It was a
The
jazz bar.
The jazz
No, no.
bar. The Cat's Meow was the karaoke bar.
Yeah.
No. Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that we met that guy afterwards in that one bar. The guy that was hosting it. You were probably too.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on. Everybody.
Yeah, I was ripped
No,
also.
we talked to that guy, and like that was his. You know, it was a Monday night, and that was his job, just hyping
Yeah.
the crowd.
Oh,
Speaking of
yes.
hype,
Yes.
speaking of hype, he was hyping the crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah,
was hyping the
we
crowd.
saw him in the
That one bar that was
where I
open
got like that shrimp po' boy rap.
Yeah, at like 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, it was late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we went back to the hotel, and we went back.
We asked them, we're like, how late you open? They're like, oh, 24 hours.
They said everyone on Bourbon Street, if they close because there's no business, they'll come to that bar.
Yeah, they'll go to that bar.
Yeah.
It was
That's
cool.
awesome. That
Yeah,
was really
and
cool.
that, the,
And we
host,
just
the,
walked
the
into it.
bartender was awesome. She was really cool. cool.
Yeah,
It was her birthday.
So cool.
Yeah.
She was eating some of Fig's.
She was-
What did you get? Those
Yeah, she
two
ate a
fries.
lot of them.
She ate half
She
of my
did-
fries.
She did some work on those French
I was
fries.
like, oh, go ahead. It's your birthday.
But yeah, like to the point where like when you ask people, oh no, have some, and they'll be like, no, that's okay.
Yeah.
No, she got a fork. And
Yeah,
went
she
and
got a
went
fork
to
and she's like,
town.
But you know what the thing was? Everybody in that city or town was just
awesome.
amazing.
So nice.
The nicest
So
people
nice,
you would ever
yeah.
even.
The
Like-
and you know what? It was mostly locals that were just being so appreciative that we were there. That was a
It was
cool
weird,
part.
right?
Was
Those
were
the
you in
locals.
Uber with me on the way there?
Yeah.
Our guy, our
Yeah, I
Uber
don't
guy-
like this. You know, it's
Yeah,
not, it's
he
really just,
sounded
it
like
was just really for the
Boomhauer.
I was
south.
with
and,
you.
Were you in the same car? As
Yeah,
us?
he was in the
front
same car with
seat.
us.
It was just us three.
Yeah, it was just
Podcast
us three.
boys?
He
Yeah.
asked me to. He was like, "Hey, can I vape your vape?" And I was like,
Oh, you want to buy your vape? I gotta show you a little
you
vape
know,
there.
you know.
Yeah.
But he
Yeah, I
was-
only been a plane about once in my life. I see you guys coming out of the airplane
Yeah,
over there.
right?
Coming over there. I only been a plane once
He
in my
was-
life.
he was
I
a
flew
cool
from the
dude.
top of North down. No.
Yeah.
I don't know,
He
he
was
was
awesome.
Boomhauer. He was.
Yeah, he was
totally
Boomhauer.
with
Yeah.
a Louisiana twang. He
Yeah.
was awesome.
Yeah, he was really cool.
Yeah.
We all had our own separate
Great times.
adventures.
Yeah, we
Our
sure
own
did.
separate adventures.
To hear Fig in a restaurant with smooth jazz yelling at the top of his lungs that he wanted a fucking po' boy was one of the greatest things
I
I've
was
ever heard.
I was so
I know,
drunk
and you know what you did?
and so
And you
hungry.
know what you did? You picked at it, and then you went and stood outside.
Yeah, because I was that
You-
drunk. I
you
had
said
to
to
leave.
Joe, you're like, here, take this, and he gave him like monies, various monies, and he like you looked, and he just had bread, and it looked like a small bird was just pecking at it. He just,
Yeah,
like, and that was it. Couple of pieces of po' boy.
I
shrimp,
was beyond
Dunzo.
done.
When,
I had
when
I
was
had
this?
That was the night where they were playing Hey Arnold with the jazz music.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's the night where I had hundreds of ounces of beer. Hundreds.
You got
huge ass beer.
You
company.
got the 32 ounce.
No,
beer.
45 ounce.
It was, no, it was
40. It was
32.
24, 45, and 70.
Wow.
So the 45 ounce
I
is
had
the
one
one.
of those too.
Yeah. So I had the
I
45
had
ounce.
16 ounces.
I had one at the bar we went to. I refilled before we left. So right there, I already had 90 ounces of beer. We drank the rest of the day. I was filling up
You
my
had that
ass
cup the whole
the
day.
whole day.
And when we got to that bar, you asked.
For 3.
No. He goes, "How
Oh,
many beers will fit in here?"
Oh, that's right.
And the guy was like,
I
Three?
don't know, 3.
and he
He
brought
goes-
out 3 beers.
Yeah, I was
he
like,
goes, I'll have 3
PBR.
Pabst Blue Ribbons,
Yeah.
please.
and it filled it.
And it filled it
halfway.
up halfway.
Yeah.
There you go. And I finished that. And then we went to another place and I kept
3?
drinking. Like I said, I had hundreds of ounces of beer, and that's when we started the morning and I finished a bottle of champagne for breakfast. So I had the bottle of
It
champagne.
was, because I was hurting that day.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not drinking anything today. I'm gonna take it easy. And then you
That's
bought
what-
me
that's
a
how
beer.
That's how all you guys started the mornings.
Yeah.
With your little power speech.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're
I
going
know.
to take it easy.
I'm gonna be a perfect gentleman. I'm gonna
Well, because-
have a monocle on,
No,
a
all right.
pocket watch. I'm not
Here's
gonna
the thing.
drink anything. I'm gonna
we
be
get
classy.
we get to that bar and Tom's like, just give me a small beer. I'm like, you're in a place called Big Ass Beer and you're gonna get a small beer. I had to buy you the bigger beer. It just it did not make sense. You're walking around with a plastic cup of beer when we're walking around with asses.
I had a plastic cup.
No, you didn't.
I said
But
I
that
did. I
plastic
didn't have
cup
an
was
ass.
big.
I didn't have a huge ass.
That was a big.
no,
cup.
it was a big plastic cup. For a guy that doesn't drink, I held my own.
You did hold your own.
All right.
You did hold your
You
own.
did.
I know.
You really did.
I know.
I was surprised.
I
Yeah.
know.
And no one was pressuring you.
No.
The weight. It's the gut. That's what does
gut.
it.
There was the one time that Danny looked at the group and he was like, "Guys, I think I'm buzzed." And then I'll never
Fig
forget.
goes like this. He's like a proud father.
I was like, "Damn!" I was so proud of him. And then like 2 seconds later, I see him on the phone talking with his dad. I'm like, "Oh, here we go."
Oh
And-
yeah. I remember I was like I was telling him about the Frenchman Street,
Yeah.
and I was like, I can't tell my daddy that I feel buzzed, so I had to play it cool because Danny's never been drunk in his life, so he doesn't know what it's okay to be buzzed as an adult.
Yeah.
But the only time I've ever been buzzed in my life, I think it's three times now, lifetime total, and they were all with
Really?
Fig. They were all with Fig.
They're all, every
Because
single
at
time.
one
That's
point-
a whole nother discussion. But yes, I've never been drunk in my
At
entire
one
life.
point, you turned to me and you went, "I'm fucking wasted,
No,
man."
I never said that.
Yes, you did.
I've never said
Yes,
that.
you did.
I've never said that.
I said, Dan,
'Cause I
how you
wasn't-
feeling? I said,
I
Dan, how
wasn't-
you feeling? And you said, I'm fucking wasted.
I've
And I
ne-
went,
I would never say that to you.
cool.
I would never say. I appreciate that. But
Cool.
as I look you in the eyes, I was never not in control of my own inhibitions while we were there.
I'm not saying that you weren't.
I'm not saying that you're saying that, but I'm saying that. Therefore, I remember everything I said. I never said that. I didn't. I was buzzed. I honestly, and the only time I felt buzzed.
I mean, I was drunk, so maybe.
The only time I was buzzed.
Maybe he was like, I'm buzzed, and you're like, I'm fucking wasted.
Maybe you were looking in the goddamn mirror and you said it to yourself. Because I have a picture of you shirtless. Put that up right now. I have a picture of you
There it
shirtless. Of you shirtless standing in the mirror. And that, you weren't even drunk. You were sober.
That was-
you were stone cold sober.
I think that was
you were
that
wearing
morning.
a fedora. You
Yeah.
were shirtless and you had your shorts on. I'm like, what are you doing? Looking at yourself in the mirror. Why?
I was drinking it in like a tall cup of coffee.
Tall cup of coffee.
That's what I am.
Standing next to a tall cup of coffee. Maybe 2 coffees side by side.
Yeah.
So, the only time I
Tub
was
of
ever
coffee.
buzzed in my life, tub of coffee, was all 3 times were with Fig. So we're with Fig, and when I was with Fig, with him ordering the 3 PBRs, that's when I felt a little buzzed. When he ordered the 3 PBRs at the table, but then it went away right away. But I could tell, like, I don't know what I'm supposed to feel like, right? I know I didn't feel like myself. I felt a little like, if here was me, I'm like right here. That's all I
Right.
felt.
Right.
I'm just a little off.
A little
center.
delayed.
I'm a little delayed, like the sound in the headphones. I'm like a 0.6 seconds latency right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then all of a sudden, whoop, I shifted back to normal, and I was all right. But for a while, I was a little bit right. I was a little bit off center. If there was a bubble level on my head, it would have been a little bit crooked.
No, me, like, I was here, and then at a certain point when I was ordering the 3 PBRs, I was like,
Way over here, away from camera. Like, it's just out of it.
Yeah.
No one can tell when I'm drunk.
I can tell when you're
100% not true. I can tell. Because you sleep with your hands in the YMCA and you're snoring like a friggin' freight train. That's when you're drunk.
Well, okay. Let me
I
rephrase
punched
that.
you to wake you up.
Let me rephrase that.
Punched you to wake you up.
That's blackout drunk.
Yeah.
And
No,
that's what
you
I
weren't
was.
Really? I thought you. I had to keep putting a
I'm
mirror
pretty-
under your nose to make sure you're still
I'm
breathing.
pretty sure he was blackout drunk because I picked up his body and let it go back on the bed, and you did not wake up.
That did happen. That did happen.
But I walked to bed. It
You
wasn't
did.
like
Yeah, you made
Yeah.
it to bed.
yeah.
Yeah.
But wasted. I feel like wasted is just like you're just having a really, really good time. You're really drunk.
Yeah,
but like,
you're having a good
you
time.
can remember
I got
everything.
A quick sound of you snoring, real quick.
Oh my
That's
god.
what I had to deal with. Sounds great. That's what I had to deal with. And then wouldn't you think when I was on the other side?
Don't you
with
feel bad
Fig,
for
You
Abby?
don't-
Wouldn't
you don't-
you think when I was on the other side with Fig, what does Fig do?
Here's the thing.
Same thing.
Here's the
I
thing.
slept with Dave Matthews Band on in my ears to try to calm
My-
me before these crowded streets. Help me.
My-
Help me before these crowded
My
streets.
favorite, probably one of my favorite parts of the trip was me waking up in the middle of the night to him pleading with you, "Fuck Tom, please, please."
You wouldn't stop. I was like, Tom, can you turn over? Yeah, no problem. I got you. That's what you said. You're dead asleep.
you
You're like, yeah,
stayed.
no problem. And then you stayed there. I was
That
like,
was-
Tom, just please, can you move
That
over?
was my
Yeah, no
favorite
problem.
part of
Fine.
the trip.
I got you. No problem. And then you just fell back asleep. You took the
should've
sheets
pushed
from
me
me.
over.
I did punch you over. That's
Not
a new
punch.
phrase. No, I punched you. I punched. Any last comments about hype? Anything else you wanna touch upon there? I mean, as usual, we went off the rails, and I think what you'll learn from more episodes of HodgePodge, it's always gonna go off the rails.
Yeah, that's
It's a
why
real-
we.
It's a real hodgepodge, if you will.
Tom said it
of
perfectly
everything-
before.
Go ahead. Yeah, you say
What
the phrase.
was the phrase you said before we started?
Don't remember.
Oh, fantastic.
It was a whole bunch of everything and nothing.
And
It's a
nothing.
little
yeah.
bit of everything, a whole lot of nothing, and that's pretty much what.
Ooh, you
this
just spun
is-
it to your own words.
But I
that's
liked
what
it
was
better
doing.
than my words. So we're gonna say
Yeah,
they
because
were
I
my
think you
words.
said it was a whole
There
bunch
you
of
go.
nothing and everything, and he just said it's a little bit of everything and a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah.
That's
that
great
better.
too.
Yeah.
And that's pretty
Forget
much what this is.
Seinfeld and their show about nothing. We
No.
just
We just did
And
it.
that's pretty much what this podcast is. HodgePodge.
yeah, it's a hodgepodge.
It's a
I mean,
hodgepodge.
in our words right now, until we lose some weight, it's a hodgepodge.
HodgePodge.
Yeah.
Yeah, or a hodgepodge.
HodgePodge.
So that being said, I hope that this podcast lived up to the hype.
I don't think
Probably
that's a great
didn't.
ending line because if they didn't live up to the hype.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
will not.
6 out of 10. We'll get better, guys.
3 out of 5.
Considering I
figs.
forgot to record
3 out of
Fig-
5 things. Yeah, considering I was.
forgot to record Fig for the first 5 minutes. We'll see what that sounds like. I really hope. I am truly sorry. We might have to cut that.
Nobody cares about me anyway. It's about you guys. This is your show.
We could figure it out.
This is your
Say
show,
that.
guys.
Why are you doing this?
Doing what?
Don't play the victim.
Dear God.
It's Dan Pudge.
Stand Tom Pudge.
Dan Pudge.
Dan Top Pudge.
Yeah. Well, anyway, thanks for joining us this week, guys.
Love you. See you. Bye.
Yep.
I'm Fig.
I'm Fig.
And I'm fake.
See you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.